Hi, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. Really glad you could join me. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist. And some of the correspondence that I've been sharing recently has focused on the topic of visualization. And it's a fascinating subject because it's something that's contained in a lot of online courses about how to improve your life and shape your future. And there is some merit in these ideas that if we can learn how to visualize very, very clearly in terms of how we want to feel, how we want to appear, and particularly in terms of controlling various influences around us. Visualization is one method that's very effective. But I thought it might be useful to share a couple of insights that are usually overlooked. Very simple ideas. Perhaps I'll start with the idea that whatever you choose to visualize for yourself, it's got to be really clear. If you have a vague image of how you want to be, how you want to appear, influencing your health or the outcomes in your life, the clearer and simpler the image, the better. Now, why is this? Well, the whole point of visualization is to move beyond the barrier that separates this notion of the conscious and the unconscious mind, because pretty much everything that we think and feel, believe, everything we do, is very much influenced by the unconscious, invisibly influenced by the unconscious, because it's not something that the conscious mind is fully aware of. Yes, we love the way the conscious mind can calculate and strategize and can visualize. Perfect. But the real power that's driving your life is unseen. It's that unconscious foundation which is responsible for many of the outcomes that you're experiencing. So let's take a closer look. The first thing, as I suggested, is that you really need to have a very clear, unambiguous image. The clearer, the better. In fact, if you can develop a laser-like focus in terms of reproducing the image, the vision of your future, how you want to be, the better it would be. Because it's easier for the subconscious to grasp these images, almost as if they are symbolic. I mean, that is the language of the unconscious. It tends to function within a framework of symbolism. So, clarity and simplicity, these are key issues. The next part is a bit odd. We're pretty sure that the unconscious doesn't have a very clear grasp of the past or the future. It seems to exist in a state of permanent present tense. So if you start projecting ideas about how you want to be in the future, the subconscious really doesn't understand that. It just sees reality in terms of this present moment. Curious, huh? So whatever you visualize, no matter how different your view of the future is going to be, it's really helpful to imagine that it's happening right now. Got it? It's an important point because we tend to naturally associate the future with planning for events that are going to happen. But we're talking about engaging your subconscious, that vast, some would say almost infinite resource that is driving so many of the results in every aspect of your life. So put it in the present. The second thing, and this is one of the powerful triggers you can use to activate all those resources in the subconscious, is to imbue your vision with as much emotional energy as possible. So if your mind is functioning on logic mode and it's got a beautifully crafted picture, that's fairly neutral. That doesn't appeal in any way to the unconscious. But when you start to add emotion, and remember, the stronger, the more focused, the more intense the emotion is, the more you will engage those subconscious resources in the fulfillment of your particular vision. That's how visualization works. Now, I just want to clarify something from one of the questions I got. I would suggest there's nothing mystical about this. The way that your mind operates is that you filter most of the data around you out of the picture. What do you mean, Greg? We have something called the reticular activator system that removes probably 99.9% of all the data around you. Your conscious mind can handle about 40 bits of data per second. The unconscious is processing around about 40 million bits of data per second. You can see the problem. You can also get an idea of who's really driving the bus. Now, from all of that information, your conscious mind is only detecting a tiny, infinitesimally small fraction. The way you select what you see and perceive is through this reticular activator system, but you can adjust the filters, change the lens, change the focus with your emotional energy. And that's why this seems to be so strange sometimes, because when we change the emotional input and we change the way we perceive the data that's flowing around us, sometimes we catch sight of things which seem extraordinary, mystical, magical, coincidental. But really we're just becoming aware of what is already out there. That's how it works. The conscious mind isn't exactly aware of this, but it's helpful for us to remember that these filtration systems are giving you your very own personal, individualized interpretation of reality. Change the emotional framework, you change the way you filter the information, and you start to notice things that were always there, but which were largely unnoticed or ignored by your conscious mind. It just isn't equipped to handle the vast amount of data flowing around us. It's highly selective. So those simple ideas, having a very, very clear idea about what or how you want to be, having a very clear idea that it's happening in the present to help to engage the subconscious's reference to reality, and then adding as much emotional energy as you can to the vision, that's a great way of triggering phenomenally powerful results from the unconscious. If you've got any questions or you want to discuss it further, please feel free to get in touch. It's something I've worked with for a long time. We're not sure we fully understand the mechanism, but it is a very, very powerful way of influencing the internal dynamics of how we think and feel, and that in turn is going to feed into the way that we interpret the world around us. That will influence the outcomes we encounter and generate. What do you think? Feel free to comment and offer your suggestions. Thank you very much for the feedback you've been giving me. Now I'm going to be looking forward to being back with you very, very soon, but in the meantime, allow me to wish you a wonderful day.